All right, everyone, buckle up. We're diving deep today into something, well, pretty exciting. Think of sparkling coastlines, maybe a mountain view.
I think I know where you're going with this. We're talking about BC, right? Beautiful British Columbia.
You got it. And not just a visit. We're digging into what it actually takes to become a permanent resident.
The dream for many. And we've got some great source material here to help unpack that.
Yeah, we've been digging through some really interesting stuff about Canadian immigration, specifically focused on BC. So for anyone out there dreaming of making BC their home, this one's for you. We're talking more than just a quick trip. We're talking about planting roots.
Absolutely. And it's no wonder BC is such a popular destination, right? Our sources paint a pretty appealing picture.
Oh, yeah, they really do. Strong economy, they say. Diverse population, welcoming communities, stunning natural beauty. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But how does someone actually make it happen? It can't just be about loving the view.
Right. It's not as simple as booking a one-way ticket, unfortunately. But that's what we're here to break down, the how-to, the pathways, the real deal on making BC a permanent address.
Exactly. Now, I'm seeing a lot of mentions in our sources about Canada having a skills-based immigration system. And honestly, sometimes these official terms feel like a whole other language. Can you translate that for us?
I hear you. Sometimes you need a decoder ring for this stuff. So skills-based basically means Canada's looking for folks who can contribute, right? They prioritize immigrants who have skills and experience that are, well, in demand. It's about what you bring to the table, so to speak.
So it's less about where you come from and more about what you can do.
Interesting. And our sources mention something called, hold on, let me get this right, streams. What are these streams? Like salmon swimming upstream.
Huh, not quite. Although BC and salmon, kind of fitting imagery there. But seriously, think of these streams as different paths, all leading to the same destination. Permanent residency in BC. One of those paths is called the skilled trades stream.
So if you're a carpenter, a plumber, an electrician, you'd be swimming up this particular stream.
Exactly. Those are all fantastic examples of skilled trades that are always in demand, especially in a growing province like BC. And what's interesting is that BC often has streamlined processes for certain trades, meaning it could be a faster way to get PR if you've got the right skills. Okay, that makes sense. Now, there's another big one I keep seeing, the Provincial Nominee program, or as our source shortens it, the PNP.
The PNP. Yeah, this one's a biggie. Think of it like this. Each province in Canada, including BC, gets to nominate a certain number of immigrants for PR every year. It's like they're putting together their own all-star team based on what the province needs most.
So BC might say, hey, we need more nurses or we need more software developers, and then they can choose immigrants who fit the bill.
Exactly. And that's where the PNP comes in. They're saying, these are the people we want, come on in.
Makes sense. Now, I'm guessing it's not as simple as BC needs nurses, everyone apply.
You're right, it's a bit more nuanced than that. BC has multiple PNP streams, each with its own set of requirements and criteria. So there's a stream for tech workers, one for healthcare professionals, one for entrepreneurs. You get the idea.
So you really need to do your research and figure out which stream is the best fit for you. Now, we've got these streams, but then there's also this thing called the express entry system. Is that a whole other river we're talking about here?
It's connected, definitely. Think of it more like a highway system, maybe. It's managed by the federal government, and it uses something called the Comprehensive Ranking System.
Comprehensive ranking system. Wow, that sounds important.
It is. They call it CRS for short. It's basically a points-based system to rank candidates who are eligible for PR.
So are we talking like a trivia game? The more you know, the higher you score?
Huh. Not exactly, but you do get points based on things like your age, education, work experience, language skills, all that good stuff. And a higher CRS score, well, it basically increases your chances of getting invited to actually apply for PR.
Makes sense. So the higher your score, the better your chances. But how does this express entry, the highway, connect back to the BC streams, the rivers we were talking about?
Great question. And this is where it gets really interesting. So if you get nominated by BC through the PNP, it's like a turbo boost for your express entry application.
So it's like getting a fast pass.
Exactly. That provincial nomination from BC can give you a serious CRS point boost. It significantly increases your chances of getting that invitation to apply.
Wow, it sounds like that provincial nomination is like a golden ticket.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening and they're feeling pretty optimistic. Maybe they've even found a stream that speaks to them. What's the next step?
Well, the next step is diving into the details.
Uh-huh.
Because as you can probably guess, this whole immigration process is pretty complex.
Yeah, it's not exactly known for being a walk in the park. There's paperwork, deadlines, specific requirements for each stream. It can be overwhelming to navigate.
Right. And that's why a lot of people actually they turn to immigration consultants for help.
Oh yeah, like having a guide to help you navigate the immigration wilderness. Exactly. Our source actually mentions Newsteps Immigration as an example. Now, we're not endorsing any specific company here, but they represent the type of support that's out there. These consultants, they offer advice tailored to your situation. They help you gather all the right documents. They might even handle some of those applications on your behalf.
So they're like Sherpas, guiding you through those mountains of paperwork.
That's a great way to put it. Having that expertise can be incredibly valuable, especially if you're feeling a bit lost in the process.
Totally. It's good to know there's help out there. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. From those majestic mountains to fast-flowing streams and turbocharged highways. It's been a journey.
It has. But that's what these deep dives are all about, exploring all the twists and turns.
Exactly. So, any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are dreaming of making BC their home?
You know, it all starts with a dream. Just remember, there are multiple paths to get there. So do your research, explore those streams, see which one calls to you. Maybe even reach out to an immigration consultant if you feel like you need a helping hand.
Absolutely. And remember, the most important step is to just take that first step. You never know where your journey might lead you.
Exactly. Start exploring, see what's out there. You might surprise yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on this deep dive into BC immigration. We've thrown a lot of information your way, but hey, that's what we do here. Remember to check out the show notes for links to all the resources we mentioned. And until next time, happy exploring.